He's been a comics fan and aspiring comic artist since the age of 6. Comics retailer since 1986. He started selling at US comic conventions, which eventually led to opening his first comic shop in October of 1988 at the age of 19. He opened his first comic Odyssey branch here in the Philippines around May of 1997, and along with his family, they currently operate 3 branches in Metro Manila. Week in and week out, they do their best to provide the best comic selection in the country. They're active in the comics community and are passionate about sharing their love of the comics medium. That is Sandy Sansolis. Special guest is Zon Tulipaw. Okay, this is Richard Cadiz of Cadimus Prime. Richard is a Quezon City-based doctor of dental medicine and a licensed financial advisor. He has been reading and collecting comic books since he was 3 years old. Among his many collections are comics, toys, any Superman-related items, and coins and pamphlets. It is written specifically here, do not ask how old he is. Nakalagay. He has been exhibiting in Komikon events since 2005, and he holds the distinction of being the only exhibitor to have a table in all of Komikon's events. I'm assuming you guys don't have any presentations, not like the previous panels.
Oh, did you have presentations?
Yeah, those guys were prepared, man.
Shiggy
and Paolo, they
take off their shirt. They take off their shirt.
They're like, wow. Look at that. Yeah, this is all, alam yan. So anyway, as far as comic selling goes, guys, how did you guys start first with your love of comics? Take it back.
I think my earliest memories when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, yung lolo ko kasi, I grew up with my lolo. My parents were left when I was like a year old, I think. So my lolo would just buy me a comic or two. He would actually go to take me to the local bakery shop. This is in Baguio. I don't know if you're familiar with Baguio. There's a place called Sunshine Bakery there. And they used to sell comics, Marvel, DC, all different kinds. And it'd be like above their breads. They'd be like these. I remember these paper clips, and they would be hung on nails.
Yeah.
So you would, I'd pick which one I want, because I couldn't read.
Yeah.
I just liked the pictures.
Yeah.
I was 4 or 5 years old. I was actually a very late reader, so I would just kind of just look at the pictures. That's what first attracted me to comics, is the artwork. To this day, of course, it's always been the artwork for me. Initially, like. So that's how my love for comics started.
Yeah.
It's also my memories, my lolo and everything. And one of the memories I remember is that after I would look at it and have it for a day or two, we'd use it to burn the charcoal. Before there's no stoves, it's just charcoal, and then huli, use it panggatong. So those are my comics. That's why I don't have any comics when I was young. all those were burned. He ran a small restaurant over there.
Yeah.
So those are my first memories. So my love for comics started as young as maybe 4, I think, 4 or 5. And then when I started learning to read, just again, I was a late reader, maybe 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
Then it went to a different level, because then I understood what was going on. That's how I started as far as.
Come in. Yeah, we have space.
Then, you want to tell the whole story? Yeah. So
around last picture, the same thing.
Okay,
so
around the age of I think I was 9 or 10. I moved to the U.S. I was my mom petitioned me.
Yeah.
And obviously, like in the U.S., there's everything there. So there's like a local comic shop where it was near my junior high school. I remember a couple of friends were.
This was in California.
Yeah, this is in California. This is I think I got back into comics around 1981 or 82. I remember buying this is how old I am. I remember buying the first Wolverine, the final Wolverine, because that was like the hot #1 back then. And so I remember buying for like, I think it was 60 cents or 65 cents, whatever cover prices.
Right.
And that was a lot of money when you're, $1 back then was a lot of money. So that was like one of my first. That's one of my first memories of buying a comic in the US, and one of my first memories of having a bad deal because I traded that comic away for, I remember like a Silver Surfer #1, which was like John Burns Silver Surfer #1. It was a bad deal. I got tricked into trading it because he was my friend. I thought my friend would never pull a fast one on me, I guess.
Apparently he did.
Yeah, so whenever I see that Wolverine #1, I always remember that that trade.
Okay.
So that's one of my first trades.
Right.
Then as far as the selling part, I didn't really have any money growing up. My mom had 2 jobs, my dad had 2 jobs, I had 2 younger brothers. You know, it was hard. So I would find ways to. I want to get comics, but I have no money, so I did various things like I remember picking up aluminum cans and sell the aluminum cans for 29 cents a pound. I remember specific. Get like a big bag of them, and that's something I would use for comics. And then sometimes I would I used to stay in the room with my uncle. He would have Playboy magazines underneath his bed all the time, right?
Playboy? That's something Jiggy's an expert in.
So sometimes, like, he wouldn't miss a Playboy or 2, so I would actually sell the Playboy to my friends, of course, so behind the railroad tracks or something. I remember getting $5 for a Playboy and then using that $5 to buy comic books, which is like not the norm at that time, of course. It's probably not the norm now, but
Norby's an expert on Playboy, I think. Yeah.
So that's one of the first few.
And Tony also.
There's just so that's what I would do to I find different ways to, because I love comics so much, but I had no way to get it. That's what I would do.
Okay.
So I did trade here and there, and I slowly started building my collection. I remember just not even eating or. It was hard. The U.S. isn't as easy as people think. They think you go to the U.S. Oh, it's so easy, but it's actually it's hard.
Right.
So when I started college, I remember my classes were like 4 or 6 hour gaps. So I would go to the neighborhood comic book store, which is literally crossing the street from the college. And I would just hang out because I don't know how to spend 6 hours waiting for my next class. I didn't want to pay for a bus fare going home. Remember, I don't have any money, so. And
you didn't want to study, so you just rather.
Actually, I would go to the library, but what ends up happening is I fall asleep in the library because it was just boring.
But the comics were lively.
Exactly. So I would hang around the comic book store, and one of the staff there just noticed I was there all the time. So they asked me if I could, if I wanted to work there. Of course, not for cash. It would be just for store credit.
Right.
And I said, yeah, sure.
That's how you got your job, right, Norby?
But I remember at that time the minimum wage was $3.35 per hour, but they could only give me $3 in store credit, which was at that time, because you don't think like, oh, this guy's ripping me off. It was just fun. So once I got that $3 in store credit an hour job, I was able to get more comics, but my problem was I didn't have any money still. It was just I had comics, so that's how I started doing the conventions, because there was a local monthly convention at the time. It was the LA convention, which is at the time held at the Ambassador Hotel, which no longer exists.
Ooh.
This is like it's an old historical hotel in LA where Kennedy got shot.
Oh, the RFK assassination.
Bobby Kennedy. So we would have these monthly conventions there. So the credit I would get from my store credit job, I would use for my table display, and that's when I started getting. That's when I basically quit college and then did the comic thing, because again I didn't have money, so that instant money that I could buy a book for 65 cents, charge $3, or when something gets hot. I remember getting like 20 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 300. I don't know if you know what that is. Amazing Spider-Man 300s, and those like the hot books at that time. Buying it for $1, $1.50, flipping them for $5, literally within a week or two. So it was just like instant cash basically.
Right.
And that's how I did. I would just roll it over, and I started meeting other dealers. There's so many things I saw back in the day, which is when I see a lot of books now, and I always remember like, I could have kept this or whatever.
Made more of
First
this.
estimation of this, you have to turn over. I remember buying 100 copies of Secret Wars 8 for 20 cents a piece because my friend in front of me had overstock at 20 cents a piece. And for 20 bucks, I said, sure, I'll take it. 100 copies to the years those are gone. But of course, those are like $60, $70 books now. So it's one of those things where through the years you get to see deals like that. So,
But you had no idea. I mean, you were on.
well, I had an idea, but I didn't care
speculation.
because I just had to keep that money turning over.
Right.
You know? I pass. So there's so many things. I kick myself sometimes thinking like, I could have bought this, I could have bought that,
Right.
flip it over. I could be probably super duper rich right now, but I'm not.
Yeah, he's just rich, not super duper.
No.
Right, Nick?
No. I'm cash rich. I mean, I'm comic rich, but I'm cash poor. That's the drawback in this business. It's not as easy as
I don't believe it is.
No, believe me, like, because comics, as far as my retail, because it's a weekly thing, it's highly capital intensive, so it takes a lot of money to keep that going.
Yeah.
So my capital flow, my cash is just stuck in product all the time. So as I get product I don't sell, that's my savings account. That's why when you're buying my stuff, my overstock here, that's my savings. So
Yeah.
whatever I make now, that's a little bit of profit. When I do the Komikon, it's profit. So sometimes I don't care if it's you want it 80 off, discount, another half off, sure. I'll just give it because I need to have that money always turn. So that's the this is a short history of how I got the comics. But yeah, basically I quit college after I think only 3 semesters. I just got into the business comics because it was all fun. It was a financial thing also.
Yeah.
But I do love comics ever since. It's always been like my passion ever since. The only drawback now is the retailers. I can't read anything anymore. I'm always so busy. I don't have time to read anything anymore. So when you ask me what's going on with this stuff, I don't even know the characters anymore because it's just so much now.
Okay, so that's Sandy's story. What about you, Richard? How did you start your love affair with comics?
I started when I was 3 years old. I was watching old Superman filmation, animation.
What call your voice? Yeah.
Plus the Super Friends. Plus the Super Friends. And one day my mom brought me to National Bookstore and saw this comic books, locally printed.
Yeah, locally printed.
Sabi ko,
Newspaper.
Mom, can you buy that for me? It's also a Superman book.
Yeah.
I can still remember that issue. Action Comics 583.
Yeah. Specific, right? Yeah. But that's the thing with collectors. They tend to remember the first one that really got their attention. So.
Yeah. Then I went home happy. I was browsing through the comic book. I can't read that during that time. I was just 3. So I was just browsing on the pictures. Yeah. I was, this looks cool. I was tracing it over.
Yeah.
Tapos some pages I cut them.
Yeah.
And paste them over on a piece of long pad or yellow pad.
Yeah.
I started to make my own action scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That was my first comic book, and then after a while, my mom bought me some more. I got into Batman and Flash. Sabi ko, marami pa pala to. Marami pa pala to. It's cool. Tapos, one day, may lola came to our house, bringing some local comics, mga Tagalog comics. Then I got curious. Sabi ko, Tagalog to. Ba't Aliwan yung title? Mga ganun.
Yeah.
Wakasan, Maliwan. Tapos, I got curious. Binasa ko siya. Nung binasa ko siya, sabi ko, Tagalog talaga. Tapos bitin.
Oo.
Tapos ang dami
Susunod.
Oo, susunod, tutuloy, mga
Yeah.
ganyan. Bakit? Tapos ito, wakas.
Yeah.
Tapos, during that time, hindi ko pa alam yung meaning ng wakas.
Oh.
I have to go ask my mom about what's wakas. Baka lang ang pangit pakinggan. Tapos sabi niya, hindi niya sabi, the end.
Yeah.
Tapos, bakit ito itutuloy? Ba't bitin? Tapos ito, tapos, gano'n. Kasi akala ko isang tapos yan. Kasi nasabi nga ng American Comics, di ba?
Sama-sama eh.
Isang diretso eh.
Yeah.
Minsan dalawang story, pero understandable naman na 2 separate
Yeah.
stories siya. Yun, tapos nagano ako. Yun, I got into yung mga Tagalog comics more and more kasi almost every week yata nagtatalo yung grandma ko. I don't know why. Napansin ng mother ko na puro Tagalog yung binabasa mo. This was already grade 1 na ako na, grade 7. So I can read na. Sabi ba, puro Tagalog yung binabasa mo, hindi pwede yan, basa ka na English. Dinala niya ako sa Alimars.
Alimars! O, hindi nyo na alam kung ano Alimars.
Alimars, rival ng National Bookstore yun before.
Yeah.
Yan. Tapos nakita ko yung Star Wars #1, mga gano'n. 1, 2, 3 pa yun eh. Locally printed eh. Tapos, sige, ito na lang. Binasa ko siya. Starting today, you have to read English na. Huwag mo nang galawin yung mga Tagalog comics. Okay. Tapos, when I got into grade 3 or 4, I discovered funny comics.
Yeah.
Which is Tagalog na naman. Patago ko siyang binibili. Every Friday, 1 peso.
Wow, patago.
Patago. Kasi Tagalog eh.
Yeah.
Every Friday. Tapos minsan maghihiraman kami.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Big Bang Boom.
Maghihiraman kami ng classmate ko. Ganyan. Umiikot siya. Before mag-Friday ulit, nasa akin na ulit yun eh. Nag-rotate na eh. May bagong issue nga ako. Tapos ano ulit? Sabi ko, bakit ako lang gumagastos dito? You share with me 50-50 tayo.
Yeah.
50 cents, 50 cents. Dalawa tayo babasa. Tapos, nung dumami kami, yung lumiliit na yung shares, sabi ko, mas okay na kahit kayo na magtago niyan.
Yeah.
Ganun. Tapos, ikot na lang ako nalita.
So how did you get into selling naman? Kasi nagkakakwento lang ni Sandy how he started into
Ano
selling.
naman yun, it was already, I was already in college. It was during the early 90s, the comic boom.
Yeah.
Comic glut.
Yeah. Glad.
There was this one LCS, nag-start sila maglagay ng billboard sa shop nila. Buy and sell, comic books. During this time, lumabas yung mga image, yung mga ganun.
Yeah.
Tapos, may mga extras din ako sa bahay. Nilagay ko din sinulat ko ng list. You call me this number. Tapos, we meet up this store. Tapos yun, okay naman siya. Tapos nung pumasok na yung Image Comics, during that time, one comic book, hey, you can sell one comic book. You can buy it today for 80 pesos. Tomorrow you can sell it for 1,000 pesos.
Yeah.
It was very lucrative.
That was
Oh, it was very lucrative. Sabi ko, wow, okay to.
That's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Never again.
Because a lot of speculators went in the market to say.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked when I saw yung mga, Cats was the one that was doing a lot of stuff in also, right?
Yeah.
I actually was able to get Cats backstock before yung backstock, and I was shocked that yung quantity ng mga image niya, yung
Yeah.
mga super yung mga image ng Wildcats,
Yeah.
and it was stuff that I thought was rare even before we're not.
Oh.
The Wildcats 2 and
X-Men 1.
X-Men. Well, X-Men 1,
X-Men
yeah, I'm down with X-Men 1.
Sino ba yung X-Men 1 dito? Everyone has X-Men.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, that's why sometimes you'll see my bins, buying X-Men 1. Sometimes, I have 50 pesos.
Oh.
I think I have 3,000 X-Men 1.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah. That's.
I have 2 X-Men, 1 ABCD, and 3 of E. That's how bad it was in the early 90s.
So the thing is though, it still sells. Go to my table, 200 pesos, and you probably bought a couple here. The thing is,
You want one? You'll give them away.
yeah, I made that mistake before, but at least it's not a complete loss. There's you have Supremes or Blood Strike or
Supreme.
You know, Brigade hologram cover two.
Brigade.
You know that one, right? That's what you're saying.
Liefeld.
You buy for 80 pesos and stuff for whatever, 1,000.
Actually, nag-start pa nga ako, Young Blood 1. Oh,
Oh,
Roel!
oh.
Roel!
Hindi sa akin.
Young Blood 1.
Hindi sa akin.
Okay, so what challenges have you encountered as far as selling? Well, basically here in the Philippine market. I'm sure there are different kinds of challenges.
Told me after Richard. After Richard was finished,
Yeah.
he was still he was
Yeah.
talking about how he got started.
Challenges, well, yun yung downside ng comics, yung bumagsak yung market ng comics. During that time, talagang pinabayaan yung comic books. So, and I wasn't buying new ones.
Alright.
I got into toys.
Right. Oh.
That was
Ibang
siguro,
story na
that
yun.
was siguro mid-90s, di ba nagpaksa?
It's mid to late. Mid to late. Around 96.
Yeah, I actually came back here in 1996
Yeah.
because Rowena's grandmother died.
Okay.
So we visited, it was August of 96. My first time back in like 16 years, I think. So na-shock ako.
Right.
Of course, when you leave as a 10-year-old kid, you come back and everything had changed. Like,
Yeah.
there was these huge malls. I remember seeing Mega Mall. I was shocked. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, because sa US, walang ganyan.
Yeah.
The malls are malls, but not like Mega Mall or like now Mall of Asia, of course.
Yeah.
I walked into a field bars and there was like all these people like, buying comics, but the way they were retailing comics, like the showcase, you have to ask for each one.
Yeah.
Ano lang siya, they're just open.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize there was a market here. I mean, I knew there was comic fans, but I didn't realize how big it was. I actually didn't realize till a couple years later how big it was, or I think it was already down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mga mid-90s,
Down na.
nagda-down na siya, di ba?
That was the time when I stopped collecting my stuff. I was collecting that.
Yeah, so I was.
It's kind of solution with everything.
Marami
Yeah,
na paso eh.
and it's funny how at that time, like when I came here, I thought there was so much potential there because I saw how it was still the shop. I went to Komikon, I visited Cats.
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of still open at that time. I remember visiting Cats in Makati.
Yeah.
I said, oh, the comic market here is live. This is the US. It was also down. It was
Yeah.
also down, but it's good. I was thinking, oh, I loved it so much coming back.
Yeah.
That I said, oh, we have to. We came here for that the funeral in August of '96. I loved it so much that because first of all, I loved coming back home. I loved the people. I loved the.
Yeah.
Iba, kasi sa US, it's always everybody's so busy. You're working. You're paying the credit card bill. Just everyday life. It's so fast. So
Yeah.
when I came back in '96, in August, it was only 2 weeks, but I think it was like the best time I ever had. I visited the but this wasn't just a funeral. It was
Funeral.
Of course, it was a funeral, but like my eyes were just like they were just open. I just felt the love,
Yeah.
not only from the family, from everybody,
Yeah.
and it just made me so happy being back home and then feeling that I never really felt that at that time.
Okay.
So when we went back after a couple of weeks, I talked to Rowena. I said, you know what, we have to go back.
Yeah.
And then within 3 months, we were back. Within 3 months, I sold, I think, 3 shops at the time. Wait, I had 3 shops at that time.
Right.
But because I just had this gut thing, like, oh, we have to go back home. I think this is what we have to do. I had 3 shops at that time.
Marketplace.
No, 3 shops in the US.
Ah, US.
I had one in
Yeah.
Pasadena, I had one in Panorama City, and I had one in Simi Valley.
Okay.
I recently, I had 4, but I sold 1. And then I wanted to come here so fast that I literally gave a store away.
Wow.
I traded one like half cash, half credit, and the other one I got like a $15,000 cash advance from my friend, who's still my friend to this day.
Nice.
Of course.
Oh.
So I basically gambled on everything.
Yeah.
Came over here. We were back by December before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was like, of course, it was Christmas. I've never spent Christmas here in like 16 years. So
Right.
it was a very happy time.
Yeah.
It was just fun. So I thought, okay, cool. I shipped all the balik stuff. It'll be here by January. I can open up a shop. Oh my God, it's so hard to open here. I think I guess the US where I can literally just get a meeting, get a lease deal. I'll get my licenses. I can open in a week.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Where our Panorama store, it's just me and Rowena. Got my licenses, got the lease, built our own shelves, put our own floor. We open in a week.
Yeah.
So that's how quick it's the US. Over here, I think after 5 or 6 months, nothing was happening.
It's called red tape.
Oh, not only that, it's just nobody would give me a chance. I kept getting denied letters from everybody. Like SM, you can't just go to SM or Ayala. You have to schedule a meeting. You have to write a letter. You have to do all this stuff, and it was so hard. It was so hard to get my foot on the door. So it's basically you just have to know somebody, and we didn't know anybody. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the meantime, ginagawa ko, I would sell it in the garage. Like, I remember some magic cards, but I saw a lot of magic cards also.
I think they saved the comic shops in the 90s. The magic cards,
Yeah, we sold magic cards. I had a lot of NBA cards. NBA was so hot.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of NBA cards. So I would sell them sa garahe namin. Dun sa
It's
Mandaluyong.
mid to late 90s, Bulls heyday, yeah. So.
Yeah, it was the last year of Jordan.
Yeah,
97,
98.
97, yeah, 98,
Last
okay.
championship.
So I remember going to Cats and then asking if, because I had all this stock, which I had nothing to do with it, and I had to sell some, like, I think it was pages, basketball pages, and then they were lowballing me and stuff. I said, because they were like wanting less than than what I paid for it, so I didn't go to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I finally got a chance with Robinson's Manila, because at that time nobody wanted to open in Robinson's Manila. I said it's the red light district.
Yes,
They were needing tenants, and then they gave me this weird size small space, and I had no choice. I had to take it. That was, I think, April or May of '97, but that got delayed.
Okay.
So I basically had nothing, because all my deposit, I was shocked kasi dito 6 months deposit minimum eh. So yes, 1 month deposit, 1 month rent, you're open.
Yeah.
It was easy. So over here at the just 6 months deposit killed whatever money I had. I think I bought $20,000 initially dito, right? So after deposits, after our living expenses, I literally had nothing left.
Yeah.
So I was about to go back actually summer of '97. I was about to, like, my friend gave me a call, hey, come back. The friend I sold my store to, he said, come back, let's just be partners or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was really gonna go back already. And then we just happened to go to the market sa Brother Rick, Marketplace. You remember Marketplace, right?
That's what we do.
Yeah, it was a Marketplace, I don't even remember.
Okay.
I just happened to pass by because there's a market there, after this Marketplace. So we're buying groceries, and there's all these kids. We're buying NBA cards from 2 stalls, one on the 2nd floor, one on the 4th floor. I don't remember. It's cheaper.
Magic.
Yeah, Magic. But
Pokemon.
mainly it
Pokemon
was,
cards.
wala pa. It was mainly NBA cards.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I have 3 buying boxes full of NBA cards. Like, I can do the same stuff these guys are doing. So I go to the same day. We go to the management, and it was because Marketplace is not an SM. It's not like a big, huge conglomerate kind of mall. It was like a more local, privately owned mall. I was able to get an appointment like right away, and then I told them, what I want to do, and they said, yeah, because they didn't care if they were protecting other tenants. They didn't care if there's like another shop or the same thing, because they didn't care. So I borrowed money, because I remember I ran out of money. I borrowed money from one of the relatives. I did the deposit, and then we opened that shop. I think it was quick actually. It was like probably less than a month. And they gave us the worst space. I don't know if you remember that time. If someone, you remember the Marketplace shop? Pinakadulo. It's like the worst location.
Oh.
So dark. Do you remember that?
Matatakot magdadalawang isip kayo
Yeah,
pumunta.
and we were the only tenant there. But again, I just
Talagang
had to have
market
that.
sa labas.
I just had
Mas
to
may
have
mall.
that, yung
Space.
opportunity and
Yeah.
just to do it. So I remember borrowing 30,000 pesos for the deposit, construction, and all that stuff. Ang little space na yun, it's probably like, it's so small, literally like maybe a 10th of this room.
Wow.
I was there when we were hired a carpenter. I was there the whole time, because I was so excited to just open, just give it a chance. So when we opened, it was mainly basketball cards and like a couple of comic pins, right? It just so happens that my stuff, yung mga nadala kong NBA cards at that time, is stuff that nobody's ever seen here before, or the majority of it. And nobody never seen yung mga.
Nice.
Sa US, they're plentiful. They're
Right.
they're not rare. They're like mga overstocked talaga. That's why I shipped
But
them.
here they were rare.
Yeah, so within I think within a week I was already back on track. So without that Marketplace store, I wouldn't be able to open the Robinson's Manila store, because that funded the other shop.
Yeah.
So that was summer of '97. I remember watching the finals with Jordan
Yeah.
across the neighborhood in San Marketplace. I was watching on.
Right. Yeah.
It was I was there all the time. So within I think 3 or 4 months, we finally opened the the Robinson's Manila store. I think it was October, November of '97.
Okay.
So I had to go through all these things. Like I was about to, you know.
You're gonna head back already.
It was so bad. I remember one time it was so bad. Everything was going wrong for us that nasa Madrid kami, there was a big storm.
Ooh.
And we lost a lot of our stocks na baha kami.
Ooh.
So all it just so happens that yung stocks on comics and stuff were in the basement. And that's when I decided I had to go home because I was already like, forget it, you know, it's not working out. We didn't have, I think we had like 100 pesos left. I'm not kidding, 100 pesos left. And I think we bought food and it was like tuyo and rice and and you're all living in the same house. That's not gonna work. But so without that marketplace shop, I could have done the other stuff. Because once I opened at Robinson's, it was just like, dami yung comics na at that time eh. Of course I didn't know.
Toys.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Right.
Dami yung comics.
But Toys was starting to...
Toys was starting to
you know.
to come up. Kasi
Okay.
mga DC or Star
Mas
Star
kinukulit
Wars.
kita sa superpowers, remember?
I don't remember, but but siguro yeah. But if you remember the Manila store, it was the complete opposite ng marketplace. Because yung marketplace kasi I couldn't sell comics there. It's only NBA cards.
Mm.
So yung mga comics, I was selling everything so cheap because wala namang bago eh. So all old, yung mga holographic covers na X-Men na yun. I was selling it for like 20, 25, 50 pesos or something.
Yeah.
I didn't care because it's just
Get rid of it.
I can't sell comics. It's only just NBA cards. When we opened sa Manila naman, it was the complete opposite. It was all comics,
Okay.
and that's when I realized, oh, it's still alive. Because people are looking for all these back issues.
Yeah.
And I just happened to have them because wala akong bago. All I have is luma.
Yeah.
And all yung mga hot or whatever.
Yeah.
So that worked out for us. So yeah, so we did that for. I watched that store for almost 3 years.
Mm.
Every day. I think I took 1 or 2 days off the first time because again we started with. I had to commute there every day. I had to, you know, just kind of manage it, be there every day. And there's only that one shop,
Right.
you know. So I did that for up to 1999. We left for the US 99 because of Y2K.
Okay.
So a little bit. That's one of the reasons. Not the only reason. One of the reasons. So we left, and then I was gone for 5 or 6 years. Came back in 2006. Because after going back to America, staying for another five years over there, I think we were in the same situation as we were in 2000. Like both financially, because nothing was happening. It was lonelier for us. And it was we always, well, I don't know, but Nico, but Nico's like a military brat kind of stuff because we moved so much.
Yeah.
Nico, you know, because we went to LA, went to San Diego. You know, I did a few things. I opened a shop in San Diego. I helped a friend in Pasadena again, same friend. We came back in 2006. That's when I decided, you know what, this is it. This is for good. We'll go back 2006, and then that's when we opened the gallery stuff. 2006. We bought a house in San Diego, sold it, and whatever money we had, yun yung dinala namin. And then that's what we started Gallerio with.
Okay.
And then that's we built it up. So yeah, so that I think had we stayed in '99, not leave, it would have been a little bit different. I think I would have made my adjustments. Because up to now, I'm still making adjustments.
Okay.
The market's so crazy right now, so it's changing. It's changing. So.
Yeah, we're all gonna feel it next week.
Yeah. By the way, guys, next week.
Yeah, 15 pesos more.
No, but
each.
you know what? Before we were in times 60 before, huh?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we were. So I mean, these are.
There will be a lot of tears
These
next
are
week.
things that I have no control over, and I believe I try to keep it as you know as low as possible because I want as much people to get into
Yeah.
comics. Because I love comics. I mean,
We know.
love comics.
We appreciate the effort, man.
Comics are the core actually. There don't be toys. There don't be all this other stuff without the comics. You know? It's like the core of
The movies.
the movies,
The TV shows.
you name it.
Games.
Yeah.
You know, if a lot of my best memories are as a child reading a comic book.
Yeah.
You know, I learned from a comic book. I learned, you know, I learned so much from just reading comics, and that it's hard to like unless you're a collector yourself or how you guys are. It's hard to explain that to somebody who doesn't know comics. One of my best friends in the U.S. up to now is my friend since high school. He doesn't understand why I like comics.
Yeah.
Like he's always around me. He can never get it. What do you see? what's so good about comics? And I don't know. I can explain it to him. You know, maybe he's just not visually. He's just I don't know. But he's still my
Right. Yeah.
So it's just that love for comics is always the core. You know, that's why I still do this. Otherwise, I would suggest selling comics. It's very bloody, this business. It's the discounts are very high, but that's if you sell everything. And no retailer, no
Sells
comic retailer
everything.
sells everything. That's why I told you I'm cash poor, I'm comic rich. I probably have all these. I'm probably worth millions. Who knows? It's 50 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not cash. It's just all paper. Well, it's paper, but it's not paper cash.
Yeah.
It's product. So that's a drawback. So retail. So on my retail, Richard does it different. He has no weekly comic deal.
Yeah.
Just buy. I've done trades with Richard. We just trade overstocks for overstocks. He'll find a deal. He'll buy someplace somewhere. Then he'll come to my booth. We'll trade. I'll give you some overstock.
Especially on Christmas time.
Especially Christmas time. We did a Christmas toy con. One of the reasons we go there is so we can swap merchandise. I swap merchandise, I get merchandise, I'll give us gifts.
Yeah.
So I don't have to cash, give any cash. And I'll do it with Richard, I do it all, a lot of deals. No overstocks for us. I'll trade one guy with Barbie dolls, I'll trade one guy with action figures. So Christmas time comes. Oh, guess what I got you for, you know, I didn't put out cash, but yun yung, yeah, Richard.
Parang
So,
shopping ka na.
Yeah.
so what kind of challenges naman in contrast yung meron ka, Richard, compared to what Sandy has gone through?
Ganun din siya. Kasi yung down nga yung comic book, siyempre wala nang bumibili or konti na lang. So yung ano doon, parang siyempre mawawala ka na rin ng gana eh. Why am I still doing this?
Yeah.
Diba? Tapos, yun nga, I got into toys. During that time, yung toys ang pumipick up. Plus the cards. I got into the NBA cards also, pero hindi ako nagtagal.
What kind of toys naman yung nakita mo nung nag-pick up na?
Yung dati, yung mga Marvel Legends.
Okay.
Uh,
So may comics relation pa rin, no?
Comic related pa rin.
Okay.
Tapos ang ano doon kasi, siyempre medyo familiar ka na doon sa character.
Yeah.
Some most toy collectors ngayon kasi hindi nila alam sino yun eh. Sino yun nandun eh. Minsan ini-explain ko sila, ito siya, ganito yung background, ganito. Yun. Tapos sabi ko, hindi pa bumalik yung comic books kasi I missed it.
Yeah.
It's magputa 10 years na yan eh. Hindi ako nag-comics eh. Sabi ko, sige, try ako bumili ulit ngayon. What's new? Kung ano mga sunod. Tapos, yung sinubukan ko, parang okay naman. Mas maganda yung story ngayon compared before.
Okay.
So sabi ko, may potential baka mag-pick up. Kung dati, yung artist ang inaano nila ngayon, writer naman. So I am after the story talaga sa instead of bonus na lang sa akin yung magandang art.
Okay.
So ngayon, nag-ano ako ulit. Napansin ko, parang ganun din yung mga collector friends ko. Naghahanap ulit, bumabalik.
Okay.
So sinubukan ko ulit. Nag-join ako ng Toycon. Kasi before Toycon, I was only bringing in toys.
Toycon sa Mega
Toys,
Trade?
yung sa Mega Trade. Toys lang. Tapos sabi ko, yung parang feeling ko bumabalik ang comics. Nag-try ako 3 boxes, nagdala ako. Halos naubos din siya.
Wow.
So meron pa rin market.
Ah.
Sabi ko, sige, I'll bring in more sa next con. Tapos, tignan natin kung ano, tutuloy ko. Nagdala ako ng 7 boxes. Maganda yung ano, sabi ko, may pag-asa. Yun, ever since, every year na, nag-ano na ako ulit. Sinasama ko na yung comics dun sa ano. Ngayon, mas marami ako ulit comics compared to toys.
Okay.
Tsaka kasi mas madali siyang dalhin, tsaka mas maano. Kumbaga, mas marami kang product sa isang box.
Okay.
Kaysa yung mga toys na napaka-bulk.
Oo.
Yun yung problema sa toy.
Iba-ibang konti.
Yun ang mahirap eh. Ganun kalalaki yung boxes na dadalhin mo.
Yeah.
Compare sa isang box na ganun lang, kung magaganda yung mga dala mo doon. Diba? Mas malaki yung hita mo sa isang ganyan.
Yun yung problema namin with Toycon all the time.
Yeah.
The tables, mas mali table space, so kailangan maximize mo.
Pagsisiksikan mo. Minsan, mahal pa ng table na yun. Hahanap pa akong kalahati. Diba? You have to maximize the space eh.
Right.
Floor area. We were only given 2 by 2 meters.
Okay.
You have to maximize that.
Kaya you're always in the corner kasi may extra corner space.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed that, but
Yeah.
you're always in the corner kasi may extra space na
Strategy na.
Okay. So we'd like to open this panel discussion up to our audience. You have any questions for Richard or Sandy? You know.
Question.
Yeah.
When in tangent later, it's what are the difficulties with customs and whole big issue.
Yeah,
yun.
customs.
Yeah,
is a
but
problem. Okay, that's initially it wasn't a problem for me when it first started. I wasn't importing. I only had old stuff. When I started bringing new stuff, I didn't realize your system data was like that, where if you want something done, you just gotta pay. As far as your I know that's the system, but what I mean is the customs. Everything was done by the weight. So it didn't make sense to me. Why don't you just charge me tax? I think it's a 30% tax on the invoice or whatever. You can't do that because you can't. You have to do this and that. It's like the people up to now actually haven't fixed that problem. It's like the customs is they charge you by the kilo. So when you buy this omnibus from me, I actually don't make money from you guys. I actually lose money. Some people get an omnibus, right? But yeah, we're charged by the kilo. It's for a speedier process. The rates have gone up. I think they've doubled in the last 6 years. They've doubled. So your cost now is like I don't pass it on to you. And all other shops are the same way. They have the same problem. To get actual importer's license, which we're actually trying to get right now. We've been trying to get it. It's I'll heat up. It's easier to just pay the kilo weight, get it out, and then it's done. You get a percentage of yeah, that's the drawback. I pay an amount, tapos yung resibo was only 30%. So that's the drawback in the business here is I can't account for that 70%. I can't show the BIR, hey, I paid 70%. I'm not really making money because I paid 70%. But that's just how the system is. If I want the comics fast, because you guys, you want it quickly, you can't wait then. Because that's the nature of the business, that's a drawback. No, honestly, it's so, but at least in the US, it's like that. If you don't have the new comics on comic book day, people will go elsewhere. And then the next day, there's just so many choices. So,
yeah, how did you cut down from a Thursday, before kasi Thursday, and then ngayon it's Tuesday evening na eh?
Dati kasi consistent every time that we ship on a Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night. So maayos namin ng overnight, tapos put namin Wednesday. But because there was some delays with airlines, delays with there's a time na parating delay, and I hate advertising like, sorry guys, the comes delayed again. It's like a
keep looking for a panel with someone crying.
Yeah, I ran out of those.
Nakita niyo lahat yun.
Yeah, so eventually, you know what? Why don't I just advertise the Thursday? Tapos kung maaga, I just have a positive saying, hey, the new comics are early. So I don't have to put a post na it's late, right? So that's, because the comics actually do come in Tuesday. Sometimes they come in Monday night. So we have an extra few hours to fix it. But that process
to get it out,
tough.
yeah.
It's tough. Not just to get out, it's to actually fix it. Yeah, to get it out, obviously you just pay the money. But to actually fix it from the time they arrive to the house. Minsan, if they come in at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, ako rin sa house to fix it, then we can finish by midnight. But if they come in mga 7 or 8, lately we haven't posted any live videos.
I know, those are fun, the Facebook live videos.
Because right now, you can't just take out the stuff so quick. You don't do early processing anymore. We get it as, I think, mga 7 or 8 normally. And we don't finish on the average, we don't finish at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's fixing, not delivering.
Yeah.
After that, I'll deliver to the fort. Rowena will go to Alabang. She'll pick me up back at the fort. We'll sleep for 2 hours, then go to Galleria to set up.
Yeah.
After Galleria, we'll go back to the house and sleep around 2 or 3. It is a weekly thing. So it's once a week, but it's actually pretty hard. And even if we had 1, 2, or 3 stores, it's the same process.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. So that's why that's why Field Bars has like a 24-hour. They don't release exactly on Wednesday. They release like on Thursday. Just to actually fix it process, it's a lot of work. But of course, I have to do that because I think that's key to being competitive and make sure that everybody gets their drugs.
Their fix. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand because I'm a collector. I'm excited. I want to see. Parang Christmas every day for me when the shipments come in. And if you come in as a collector, you're always there Wednesday. It's the same thing. It's that passion for comics. I mean, I'm sure everybody here loves comics in one way or another. Whether they really love the art or the stories or they're making money off it or whatever. We have that love for comics, so we have to have that part every weekend. And with comics, there's no breaks. I think they only get 1 week off, which is just before Christmas. But technically, it's not off because they just ship twice.
As many.
Twice as many the week before, and you just have to hold it until the next week. So there really is no break from comics. And now with all the titles, it's a big headache for me.
With DC doing twice a month,
Yeah,
with all these
it's a big
killing
headache. Honestly,
me.
yeah, it's honestly right now all retailers are having a difficult time. Not just here, so you guys are in. Everybody's having a difficult time because there's just too much product right now.
Yeah.
Too much product. So yung mga budget namin nasisira because how do you adjust to something on a bi-weekly? So lahat na ginagawa ko, I have pretty much stats for everything. I have stats for which store sells what quantities, what's the combined, things. But even then, lahat ng all my numbers don't even matter if somebody just decides, oh, I'm gonna drop this title because the writer sucks or whatever. So I'll drop it. That was the next issue. Oh, I'm gonna pick it up again because this artist is back. So you want to that's how you get overstock.
Okay.
And that's how all retailers are. And that's eventually your overstock will go into that issue. So you'll see my sale bins.
They'll be given away at Komikon.
Oh, given away, yeah. I just gave away 1,000 books yesterday. Oh yeah, I gave you only a couple hundred, but I gave 1,000 books away to I forget. They have a Los Bandos con in February, so I can't make it. So I said I'll just give you free stuff. So I literally gave 1,000 books. And that's 1,000 books. There's a cost to that. Obviously not all good books. all the good stuff. There's may magaganda naman from the overstocks na lumalaki, but not everything is enough. But that's your.
How about do you or you don't to customs
I used
local?
to before, yun nga, dahil nga sa customs na hindi na.
So parang you get your supply from local?
Or, before, nag-ano ako sa labas. Because of customs. Nangiipit sila sa, even sa post office.
Yeah. That's actually a lot of customers here. They order from Amazon or eBay.
Wala pa Amazon.
Oh, yeah. But yung nangyayari, they think it's a good deal, pero pagdating, it's a good deal, pero paglabas, hindi na
Ganun din. Tapos, kung anong papayaran mo, parang lumalabas, the same lang eh. Pagod ka pa.
Yeah.
Na-hassle ka pa.
Punta ako pala post office, hassle.
They were asking earlier if variant covers help you as a retailer or.
Yeah, that was a question.
Yes and no. Right now, because not all variants are good. I would say only 10% are good. I always tell customers, unless you really like that variant, so like if you're, let's say you're collecting that specific character or that specific artist, yeah, that's fine. You have the funds for it, that's fine. But yung mga, there's some people that want to get, are completists, they want all the variants.
Mayaman yun. Si Norby yun, di ba?
Si Norby. But I always tell them, if just like myself, yung mga Marvel variants ngayon, nakakainis because they're called percentage variants for me. Like you'll notice if a variant's announced and I don't have it, it's probably because hindi ako nag-qualify.
Yeah.
Because the qualification of Marvel is based on a percentage of your previous order of something. It's not like DC where DC will say 1 in 25 variant, 1 in 10, or no variant at all. You can order what you want variant. But with Marvel, you have to order a specific
We've spoken about this
percentage.
before on your blanks.
Yeah, these are percentage variant. Yeah, like blanks, some blanks I won't get because blanks are considered actual their percentage, their qualifying variants. You have to qualify to be able to order them. So means that I won't have it, Philbars won't have it, or maybe Felix or Komikon won't have it. There's a lot of things I actually miss that you guys don't see because those brands I don't go for them anymore because sometimes it's ridiculous. You add on a Marvel, they'll like say, okay, to order this variant of Ghost Rider, for example.
Yeah, you need to order
you have
X
to order
quantity.
200% of this title, and then that title is, let's say, Amazing Spider-Man. I order like 100 Amazing Spider-Man, so there's no way I can sell 150 or 200 copies of Ghost Rider. So I don't bother. You can order. I actually order my number. I think I will sell. So that's Marvel's been doing that for a few years now. But then if you qualify, it's a good variant. If Marvel has some, the Scotty Young variants are good, or black variants are good, then it pays off also. But long term, not right away. You want blanks? You see the blanks on my table?
Yeah.
Blanks. A lot of those I'll order a lot ahead of time. That I have to order for how many years, and then not how many years, but you know what I mean. It takes a while. I can't just order. Because once Marvel prints, that's it.
Yeah.
The only time you'll be able to order again is if they have a sale and they overstock sila. But they rarely have overstock anymore. Iba na yung system nila. Everybody's so careful with their print runs. That's why when I sell out something, let's say na I get shorted on something, right? Sometimes I can't give it because the Marvel or DC just don't overprint. Yung maganda siguro Dark Horse, IDW, they always have an overprint na to fill the retailers and shortages. But DC lately ngayon, it's so bad. DC.
With Rebirth number 1,
With
you had to go to the second, third printing.
Yeah, Rebirth number 1, I got number 1 right. No
Yeah.
problem. I ordered like 500 copies. So tama ako doon. Kasi it was only $2.99. I said
Yeah.
$2.99, 80 pages. And actually don't make money out of that kasi mabigat yung book. But it's a good intro book.
Yeah.
Pero yung nakamali ako yung one shots.
Yeah,
I thought I
Green
was,
Arrow, yeah.
lahat.
Second printing ako dun.
Lahat yung flash is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
I think I ordered like 80 flash. I could have sold 300 siguro. But you don't know these things kasi prior to 80 flash, I was only selling 10 copies.
Yeah, wala kang precedent
Oh,
eh.
yeah, anong gagawin ko? An 80 is a crazy order. Just like Star Wars number 1 is a crazy order. Yung Star Wars, bago siya
Yeah.
ng Marvel, I used to sell 1 or 2 copies literally off the shelf. 1 or 2 copies.
Yeah.
Literally, like, nobody.
But since nakuha na ulit ng Marvel,
No,
and
Marvel,
Disney.
they did this thing where, okay, you order this, whatever. I remember ordering 200 copies, which is a crazy order.
Yeah.
Who's gonna order 200 copies if you only
Yeah, from 2 to 200.
Yeah, right? So, yun yung mga once in a while I'll do. Once in a while I'll just sit there like, how many should I order? Sige, I'll gamble on this book.
Yeah.
But you know, that paid off, but not everything pays off. but I did on that book. So when Star Wars came out, I sold that in like 48 hours at that. In my hot book. Right?
I got that.
And
I got it. First printing.
And right now it still sells good. I still sell, you know, I'm not selling 200 copies, but I'm selling mga 50 or 60 copies.
Still a good look, still a
Which
good
is
look.
very good for sa dami ng titles doon to sell that many, quantity of Star Wars is good. You compare yung mga charts na, you'll see on the internet, may mga charts.
Yeah.
You'll see Star Wars is always up there for Marvel. So it's one of the best selling titles now. Beats X-Men. I think Amazing Spider-Man is the only one that comes close. So Amazing Spider-Man is one of those things. And it's mahirap yung mga variants na yun.
Inventory management
But then
strategies.
you'll notice there's some variants that are just so crazy. You know the Venom variants are? The Venom variants came out like maybe 6-7 years ago. Those things are only 1 in 10, so they're not rare. They're 1 in 10. Check on eBay or anything. Just type Venom variant. It's crazy. There's like a variant that's like $1,500.
That's huge.
But it's like what?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Why? Because it has a Mary Jane and a Venom thing.
Earlier, Paulo Oliero was talking about some of the Jim Lee variants for Dark Knight 3. It's like,
Yeah. I actually ordered 500 copies of Dark Knight of all issues because I have one customer that wants all of them.
Whoa.
So as a service to that customer, he's a good customer.
is it Norby?
No, as a service to that customer, I ordered up 1 in 500 Jim Lee. So I actually do get it. I don't advertise it, but there's that one customer here that gets it all. Unfortunately, I can only sell about 200 Dark Knights at best, so I get stuck with 300 copies of each one. That's a drawback, but I have to do it. It's the only way I can get it. I can't, you know.
Okay.
So even when I sell that book for $25,000 to that customer, it's not gonna pay for the shipment. Talo pa ako dun. So for Dark Knight, I've been actually losing for the last 6 issues.
Yeah.
So, but that's the nature of the business. I have to provide. You know, not everything's a Dark Knight. So
Yeah.
not everything's Dark Knight. But yeah, there's one in Venom. There's like a 1 in 1,000 Venom. Marvel's crazy. Who's gonna order 1,000 Venoms?
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's retail. You know, Midtown probably orders it for Lone Star. You know,
Si Tony Tuazo.
No, but you know, the initial orders are crazy.
Yeah.
1,000 copies. It's gonna cost me $2,000 siguro alone from the US. Yung shipping pa yan. So I don't bother with those anymore. So yun yung mga we stay away from.
Yeah.
But the variants are nice. You want Dark Knight and Dummy variants, right?
Yeah, Archer.
If you're confused. Oh, Archer. Okay, the Archer variants naman are those are legacy variants. Those are exclusive through Legacy Comics. Legacy Comics. Let me tell you guys about Legacy Comics. The owner of Legacy Comics is a friend of mine named Howard. He's the guy I told you earlier. I said I bought 100 copies of Secret Wars 8.
Yeah.
I bought it from Howard.
Yeah.
I've known Howard since he was 16, I think, and I was like 17 or 18. We started. If you look at his history, our history's almost the same. We sold the same conventions. Our booths next to each other. We still do business up to this day. So he owns Legacy Comics in Glendale, California. So he has those variants, and we're part of that program where I think there's like 5 of us retailers. when you do a variant with Marvel or DC, there's a minimum. It's usually 3,000 or 3,500. Nobody can afford that kind of, unless you're midtown, again, unless you're Lone Star. So we partner up with the stores. Obviously, there's one in Singapore, Absolute Comics in Singapore, Comics Mexico, I think is one of them. There's a shop in the UK, I forget. There's just 5 of us, 5 or 6 of us. So we have to order. Our minimum orders on that has to be 500 copies of each cover, almost each cover, except for like the things. So it's heavy. It's a drain on my budget actually.
Yeah.
By the way, in 2 weeks we'll have 3 variants coming out. The Amazing Spider-Man, which is your Val's variant. We'll have 3 covers, color, Copic, and this is my sales.
Come on, Jimmy will take care of it.
It's a nice cover. It's color, Copic, and line art. But it's not line art. I think it's called Virgin Art or something.
Oh, GB likes virgins. That's
Okay. So we'll have that, and then we'll have the Invincible Iron Man Riri Williams Archer cover.
Oh.
It's not as nice, but it's still a legacy variant. We'll have the Avengers Simon Bianchi exclusive cover. It's only one. It's only one. There's no different color ones. And then we have upcoming the Suicide Squad versus JLA.
Yeah.
Archer brand again. It's Wonder Woman versus Harley Quinn. I
Ooh.
don't know if you've seen it online, but you'll see it. Whatever Archer posts on his stuff, his page, that's gonna be the usually legacy brand. We're part of that.
Okay.
So I'll hit up actually. I can't sell 500 copies.
Yeah.
So ginagawa ko, I leave about 300 sa US. I leave it at my friend's warehouse. I ship about 200 here, and then we sell that. But in time, it all sells out. In Dark Knight, we're almost sold out of Dark Knight. So that was profitable actually in Dark Knight. There's some on my table, by the way. They're $9.99. So there's the brand question. You gotta ask Richard something.
Yeah, Richard, inventory management strategies.
Wala, ako lang gumagawa nun eh. Kaya minsan, titignan mo lang yung comics mo the whole day, hilo ka na. Hilo ka na.
Yeah.
I do it every day.
Wala akong ibang tao gumagawa nun.
Yeah.
Ako lang nag-inventory kasi ayaw ko pa hawak yung comic book sa iba.
Yeah.
Ako lang talaga gumagawa. So talaga minsan, hindi easy.
So is it easier or harder compared to the toys? Or
It's harder.
equal lang?
It's harder. It's hard kasi you have to sort out, pipiliin mo. Tapos minsan, pag nag-change pa siya ng price, kunyari biglang tumakas siya, hihiwalay mo na siya doon sa bargain bins na.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff out of my bins that people did, di ba? Through the years. Hindi mo makitang lahat mo.
Lahat eh. Tapos pag ano talaga, yun talaga bubuhos mo yung cost doon. May siset akong araw talaga for that. Para maayos ko lang lahat yan. Tapos minsan, pag I'm very busy, hindi ko talaga maayos. Minsan, palapit na yung Komikon, palapit na yung Toycon, hindi ko pa nagagawa. Minsan, pag kung ano na lang ma-pick up ko sa umaga, yun na lang dadaling ko dyan.
How do you get rid of excess stock? Si Sandy alam namin, titrade niya sa'yo. Pero ikaw, sa mga punta.
I'll tell you a secret, how to get overstock. I say, Richard, grab it, free, take it. Right? Yeah, honestly, I'll tell you. I did a Komikon here. I said, okay, free.
Yeah.
Literally free. Take it. Well, Richard got first dibs though.
Where you go? How do you
Ganun din minsan.
Yeah, it happened last year.
argue?
I just
It's ram.
Yeah, everybody was just like.
Pag kunyari, mabait naman. Mabait naman yung customer. Okay naman siya kausap. O sige, you get 2 more. Sige na yun. Ganun. O kaya pag, especially pag Christmas time, kung ano matakot mong ganyan, o sige, sa'yo yun. Enjoy your Christmas. Kasi pag ano may...
Yeah, oo nga.
Yeah, that's my problem actually. Yung
So
storage.
Is it sa bahay niya na yung storage or?
Bahay lang. Actually, ito yun eh. Dati sa room ko lang yan. Naipon. Nagalit na yung mother ko sa akin before. Puro comics na yun nandito. Dinagdagan mo pa ng toys. Tapos, yung hiniwalay ko ngayon yung comic books dun sa kwarto ko. Dinala ko dun sa storage room ng father ko. Actually, warehouse niya yun. Ginamit ko yung part niya. Nagpaalam naman ako. Sabi ko, paakin na lang to. Dito ko lang ilalagay yung comic books. Kasi mas safe dun sa pwesto niya eh. No termites or whatever. Kasi storage din yan ng mga kasi we're selling auto parts.
Okay.
may nakalagay ng mga boxes of mga spare parts ng cars. Diba? Doon yan nilalagay. So maganda yung area. So dito ko muna lagay yung comic books. Tapos through the years, naipon, dumami. Napansin ko, kalahati na. Kalahati na. Wala pa ako sinasabi. Aware na ako doon. Nung napansin niyang lumagpas na ako dun sa ano niya, kumbaga, mas malaki na yung kinakain ko. Doon nasabihan na niya ako. Hindi ka na lang bumili ng sarili mong bahay. Doon mo na ilagay yun. Kinain mo na yung bodega ko. Sabi niya, doon na ako nakakarinig. Tapos inayos ko ulit lahat yun. Tapos one time, kumuha ako ng pwesto rito just to put in the comic books. Dito meron sa may Ortigas. May nag-open ng mall dyan. Na mura lang nila pinarin. Kumuha ko, binagsak ko lahat yung comics. Tapos sabi ko, I have to get rid of all this, yung mga excess.
Yeah.
Yun. Nabigay din ako. Nung bumagsak, nung dumating nung Christmas nun, yun, nabigay din ako nun. Pag may bumili, binibigyan ko yun. Para na mabawasan ko. Yun, same.
I mean, yeah, we have all have overstocks naman. Lahat ng mga retailers ng USA. A lot of the stuff yung nakita nyo sa bins ko, sa table ko, you only see this at Komikon, a lot of the stuff that you see 80 off, 50 off, that's not actually my own overstock. Yun yung mga nabibili kong overstock from other shops. So, may nakita overstock na sobrang grabe na. But I have no way of shipping in here na cost efficient. I just do things na.
Tapos minsan, pag may sasabi, meron daw silang Komikon somewhere in Pampanga, if I remember right. Sabi ganun, kailangan sila. Parang gusto nila mag-bring in new readers. Nagdo-donate din ako. Bibigay ako. Just to, parang mag-start lang sila.
Yeah, we do same thing ako rin, same thing. We like the Los Baños show, we gave 1,000, but I do a lot of yung mga they do these outreach things and then they ask for books. They give like yung mga pencils and bags to these children like in the provinces. So we do a lot of that. We give thousands away like that actually.
Right.
That's one way to well, not get rid of overstock, but to promote literacy.
Yeah.
Ito din ako natuto, so I would have loved as a tourist to get free stuff. So we do a lot of stuff. That's as far as overstock goes. Hindi naman.
Yeah.
I mean, the space is always an issue. But you guys seen the video. You've seen our house. Our house is a warehouse. It's not a house. It's a warehouse. It's better now though. It's better now though because we actually had. I've gotten to the point where I actually had to rent a real warehouse now. Get a space maybe about this big. I got shelves in there and then I'm trying to be organized now. It's hard. Pag may nagtatanong, like, do you have this issue or that issue? Siguro, I don't know what it's, I probably have it, or I think I have it, pero finding it is another story.
Nick, find it.
No, man. Yeah, Nico's seen it. Nico's seen it. I don't know if he has a picture, but he's seen it. You know, you say you have to work, so you spend some time once in a
you have to spend
time, right? Because you have a regular profession, job, right? Well, this is my profession. This is my job. So yeah, so every day I do it. I mean, there's times where nakakapagod, I'm like, but it's weird because I still love what I'm doing.
There you go.
I can literally work. I mean, Nico's seen it. I can literally work 24 hours straight fixing comics. It's not a problem. I don't think I'm up here and there, but it's I still enjoy it. I'll actually, while I'm fixing, I'll still go. That's what wastes a lot of time because I'm fixing stuff. And then I'll be like, then I have to decide, this goes at 20 peso, 50 peso, or charge,
Don't worry, Jiggy will buy your stuff.
Yeah, Jiggy. Jiggy's a real Marvel guy. He loves Marvel stuff.
Yeah, he'll finish off all your Marvel stuff. If you have overstock, Jiggy will eat it up. No worries.
I think Jiggy is he's got a pretty good collection, I'm sure. Jiggy's actually upgraded, right? Jiggy, like.
So, because of you, it's your fault.
Kasi before, remember Jiggy, he would buy the CGC stuff, but a lot of the modern stuff, right?
Yeah, I quit CGC.
Yeah, because CGC is you can make money off CGC, but you have to be very selective. I'm trying to bring some CGC now, actually, some slab books, because the market here is demanding it. But it's really a hard market to gauge as far as your investment. Like, will this go up there?
Yeah.
For every for every 10 you buy, you probably get 2 right, you know? So that's the hard part.
Wow.
So I turned Jiggy out to art, I think, right? Because the art market is a different thing. The art thing is a different story. I'll tell you guys about that later. But that's for future investment. If you want to invest in comics, as far as comics related things, it would be art, not necessarily just comics. The art market is so underestimated still. It's very expensive now.
There's
but I
this
think
there's this artist called Harvey Tolino. I heard he's really
Oh
good.
yeah, Harvey. Harvey, I don't even own an original piece of Harvey art because I can't afford it.
Because he's legendary. He's trying to hide back there, but you know everyone knows him. So. Jiggy, question.
Question. Apart from picking up our books weekly on time, how else can the customers help you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You can pick up your books every week on time. Oh wait. No.
Pre-order.
No, I think just love the hobby as much as you love it now. Because I know if you love it, you'll support your local comic shop, whether it be me or Felix or Komikon. It doesn't matter because we're all just one community, and our community is small. It's growing, but it's still small. You know, I have no problem with competitors. I don't look at them as competitors. I look at them all as partners. That's why you see mga, Roel will go to the store and he'll like make dib sila, they do the comic book. I mean, it's stupid for me to tell them. I mean, it's stupid if you think about the typical business model. You don't want your competitors selling in front of your store, right? But I know I can't supply the whole market, and I know there's always going to be that part where they're going to be trading and selling. I don't want to alienate them. I want to, again, they're not competitors, are my partners. So Roel's my partner. So he sells, they sell, they pick up their dips in Galleria or Ford. That's fine, because I'm not gonna, they're undercutting me. but that's a whole different market. I started out doing conventions, so I know how it is. I was the same way. I was probably selling, to different dealers here and there or different customers. So like when I saw Felix yesterday, he was here. We were talking business. We were talking how it's hard right now. So we all, for everybody to keep comics strong here, you just have to support your local comic shop.
Yeah.
And I know more expensive than like they say fully booked or national when it comes to graphic novels, because obviously my expenses are higher. And the same thing with the other local comic shops. Their prices are higher a lot on graphic novels or some toys or T-shirts, whatever. As long as you support them and then you pick up all your reservations. Don't like reserve it and then leave half. Because I have customers like that, huh? They'll reserve like 20 titles and then they'll pick through it and give me whatever, like 8 back, or then I'll warn them. So, but because I understand everybody wants, you see the list. Oh, I want it all, but you gotta stay within your budgets. Jiggy's okay.
Yeah, Jiggy's got no budget. Sky high budget, yeah.
But I mean, like, that's why you love a comic shop and just keep loving comics the way you appreciate them now. I mean, you never lose your love for it. For me, it's not just a business that the thing. It's become my life for the last 30 years or something. I've been retailing since 1988 as far as stores, pero since 86 or 87 went to convention. So. Yung part of me that became a retailer, you saw my thing, aspiring artist, right?
Yeah.
I actually had in college, I was actually an engineering major, but I hated engineering. I wanted to be an art major, but my mom wouldn't let me because she says artists don't make money. You have to be an engineer.
Unless you're Harvey, he makes money.
Remember, this was 1986, 1985, Comics, there was no comic cons like there is now. There was comic cons, but just any comic con.
Yeah.
I ended up, after a couple semesters, I hated engineering. I hated all that math and whatever. I actually took an art class, but by the time I took an art class, a couple art classes, I was so busy making money at conventions, I didn't even go to class. So I basically had to choose. Do I go to business or do I, go to my creative side? Because I actually, as a kid, I told you I was attracted to comics, right?
Yeah.
The art, and I would do the same thing you would do, like trace over or copy, So I would draw a lot. I would draw a lot. You know, you look at my notebooks in school, it's like all these drawings,
Doodles.
my own stories and whatever. So I've seen Harvey's stuff. I've seen Harvey's notes. So when I see Harvey's notes, I kind of like, oh man, this guy, because Harvey has got all these
Yeah.
studies and stuff, and his sketches are like, his studies are awesome. So
Bulak-bulak kasi yan eh. Hindi ka
I'm
nakikinig
saying-
sa class yan eh.
Oh, similar ako dun, no, where I actually, that's how I would do.
Yeah.
I would.
He shows them as part of his presentations.
Yeah, but then I can't make money out of art, so that's why I chose the business side, because I was already making money. I was already like making real money. I was self-supporting. I had my own car. I had my, I got my own place. This is when I was already 18. I was already self-supporting. I was supposed to support myself through college. So comics did that for me. I guess. So that retailer part of me, that was 30 years ago. So I'm still slinging comics.
Yeah.
But it's changed. 30 years to now, it's really changed as far as the perception of the general public.
Right.
The perception's changed completely. Because
Yeah.
before, you see me a lot of times I wear these shirts. I mean,
Right.
It's because I'm comfortable with them and I love the art and they're comfortable. And that's
Now
how I
people are
am.
really going, ooh, Teen Titans.
No,
George
no.
Perez."
Believe me, 30 years ago, you see me like this, and you'll be laughing at me. You'll be
Yeah.
like,
Look at that geek.
Exactly. You're like a geek. You'll be like,
But now we're all like,
you see the cosplayers now, it's like a big thing, they're all superstars. 30 years ago, you go to a Komikon, people will be laughing at you. You've seen Red Sonja walking around and
Yeah.
Bikini or Princess Leia, people will be laughing.
now
at you.
Jiki's a celebrity, everyone knows him.
It's no, but it's really changed the perception. I can't even imagine how it is now. I can, like 30 years ago, I couldn't even imagine how it is now. Like I'm so amazed at how it is now. Not just the business, but everything. You want movies, you merchandise, the cost. It's just so there's so much. I couldn't have even imagined that before.
Right.
So I can only imagine it, how it's going to be 30 years from now, 20, 30 years. It's gonna be, it's a big business. It's really big business now. It's really changed.
Any other questions? Yes.
Referring to sales, based on what you were saying, you are more on selling foreign comics than local comics.
Actually, you know what? I have a lot of local comics. Well, not a lot. I would say.
Yes, a shelf.
I have a shelf for local comics.
Yes.
The thing with local comics, it's not a weekly thing. It's not even a monthly thing. It's just whenever they can publish. But yung mga bestsellers, stuff from Viz Print or yung mga Arnold Irish stuff, which Kasusal, I carry them. If you look at our booth, we actually have some Arnold Irish stuff and
So
some
how
local
do you
stuff.
find their sales?
They're actually decent for the local market, but they're not going to compare to the U.S. sales. The U.S. sales are just, it's not even, I think local comic sales are like maybe 2%.
So
It's
how do
not,
you?
but it's growing because
It's growing.
it's growing. It's definitely growing, and it's actually exciting. But hopefully companies like Vizprint, because I think they're doing a great job. The price point is good. The format is good. They got good quality artists. They got good stuff. We need more companies like that. We need more companies like that to really bring up the local comic market.
Yeah.
It's if we have good product, I can sell it, and just keep. When I see all these artists, there's a lot of talent here.
Yeah.
There just has to be like maybe a couple good publishers that can give them like a monthly book or something. I sell a lot of books.
Yeah, Normie.
Yeah, I've sold some Normie stuff.
So
Like Jerry Allen Gillen stuff sells well because he's got Brodsky, Wasted. I'm sold out of Wasted. Bucha sells good. Protos book that sells
Right.
really good. I think I've sold 200 copies of that. That's a lot for a 350 book.
Yeah.
Selling 200 copies is a lot. I don't even sell that many Batman. I think I'm at 180 Batman. So to think that there's a lot of potential for local comic market, but the material has to be good, has to be consistent, has to be like you can't just put like a serial like a continuation
Like a monthly book.
like a monthly book, and then it'll come out like 6 months later. It can't be like that.
Right.
So before comics from monthly, weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly, monthly. So if we can get back to that system, we're just like a publisher willing to publish those books, and then the commitment from the artist to be disciplined to release it every. There'll be a following, like you're saying, funny comics, diba? Because
Yeah.
every weekend, right?
Dati panalo yun.
If there was something like that, not consistent, the publisher has it, this material, I think it could be, it's not, I think it happened.
Okay. Wow.
You publish a local comic, right? You publish a local
No, no,
comic.
no. So you're saying that are we now recovering from the downfall that we have when it comes to
For the local comics, I don't think we're gonna get back to the heyday of like how it was back before. Before everybody read comics. Our problem in the local market is just there's too much competition from other media.
Mhm.
It's not just the U.S. market. You know, you have video games, you have TV, you have Netflix. So I'm addicted to Netflix when I go. You know,
Yeah.
there's so much distraction. If you're watching my shop once in a while, you'll be shocked. The kids coming in and they're like college or high school and they don't know what a comic book is. So, I'm like, what? You don't know what a comic book is?
Yeah.
And that's a problem. They're not exposed to this
So
material.
why don't we reach out to those millennials?
Here we are. This is one of them.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one. This is one
So
of
you
the
have
things.
Komikon.
This is one of the things, and it's actually great to see that they're not just promoting comics. They're actually promoting art. They're promoting. You see them making little print stickers, and then eventually that leads to comics. And this is pretty lively. Unfortunately, we only have a couple thousand people that are really active. So those people have to share their love, their passion. Like,
Yeah.
So that's. But I think we're far from how it was. There's potential, but we're far because you also need that business side. Again, if you have publishers like BizPrint, if you have like 2 or 3 of those publishers that's willing to invest, put money, and then publish the books, it'll be good. There's a few books that I saw pretty good, but their books they're not new monthly or.
Yeah. They're like self-contained
Yeah,
books.
like 66 sells good. I saw.
Yeah.
I've
Manino.
sold over 266.
Yeah, good job.
You know?
Russell.
But I wish it was more.
Yeah, well, because
Tressa, I always sell at least
Ian's
300
abroad,
Tressa.
because-
Every issue of Tressa, 300 copies. That's insane. 300 copies for
Yeah,
a local.
yeah.
You know, so and then they sell shirts, they sell it, and it all sells. It all sells. So you have to have that quality product out there people will buy. It's all about what's content. Just like Netflix, right?
Yeah.
It's all content.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we do something similar for the local comic market, it can. There's so much talent here, Siam. You know?
Yeah.
We can't use it. Nor we can go to monthly. No, there's a lot of. It's not just one set style. It's not just superheroes. It's not just.
Yeah, it's not just.
It can be. There's so many genres.
It's like I was talking to Tapay earlier because
Yeah, Tapay
with
stuff's
her,
decent, pretty good.
when she creates a comic, her leaning isn't towards superheroes. She likes something
Yeah.
amazing happens. to
Yeah, I
someone.
remember the first time I met that guy, and then some customer wanted her to sketch Captain America, and she didn't know what
Yeah.
how does Captain America look like?
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know because.
Because hindi yun yung leaning nila.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's more like looking traditional, that she wants historical stuff. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
That's why
like
Mactan 1521 is her big book.
Yeah. But there's always room for all that stuff. All different.
Okay, we can take one final question for our panel here. No more. Okay, so
I
that's.
thought Ro was gonna heckle me.
Okay.
I respect
You
so
know what?
much.
You know what, Roel? I remember Roel at the Manila store, and that was like 97 or 98, diba? So I'll have customers like that. I still remember like way back when, and they still love the hobby, and that's also what drives the market.
Right.
It's we just hopefully get more new readers. Yes,
Okay,
Jeff?
one final.
When are you gonna expand it, like besides Mindanao? Because do you have plans on expanding it in the Visayas? or
No,
Mindanao?
actually,
Because every time when I'm in Cebu,
we have no plans of expansion. No plans. I can't handle the work. I think the way I'm looking at it now is we're gonna increase our web presence, and because right now we actually supply people in Mindanao, Zamboanga, Cebu, but it's all mail order. So I see the market growing. There's a store in Iloilo that we supply. It's called Critical Hit. They're doing really well, so we're supplying them. So I think if I can find partner shops like Critical Hit that I can trust, and then I can partner with them, and then we can open that way. But doing it myself, I can't do it. That's why I downsized from 5 to 3. Because what's happening is hindi ko na kayang
Maintain.
kasuhan yung mga.
The physical stuff.
I still want to have like a personal thing with the company. Comics are different. It's like you understand. You want to fix your comics yourself. It's like when you're dealing with customers. they like that if they
That face-to-face relationship.
Yeah, not necessarily face to face, but if they have a problem or an issue or they want something, they can
Yeah,
The
the
person
person
message
you
you.
talk to
It doesn't have to
someone.
be me, but
Yeah, but there's a face
Yeah,
that
we
they
can't
can
do that
talk.
with all these multiple shops. I'm very bad at delegating like that.
Right.
I did it with the 5 Norby knows. I would just leave Norby and never see
Yeah,
him.
because he was,
Right?
Norby's a legend.
Right? Norby used to help our Green Hill shop, and I would see him like once every 3 or 4 months. I never even go to the shop, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a low volume shop. I would just do the transfers. I drop the stuff off, and then same thing with the Midwest store. That's what happened. I was just spread too thin. So with the 3 shops, it's more manageable.
Right.
And then I'm just gonna concentrate on the online thing, so I can ship to Cebu when you go to Cebu. And then I'm actually gonna be offering free shipping soon. I'm just trying to figure out we're
Logistics.
partnering with LBC, and they have a thing called LBCX. So we're doing a partnership thing. We're trying to get this. Well, actually, we already have it, but I'm trying to figure out because I noticed traffic's obviously everybody noticed traffic's
Yeah.
gonna be a real big problem. So I noticed a lot of customers can't pick up on time because their main reason is traffic, or I'm on the way, I couldn't make it, I was stuck in that for 2 hours. So that's one way I think it's gonna change your industry dito is I'm gonna have to offer the free shipping option. You can, people from Mindanao or even from Manila can order. It'll be the same thing. So I'll be servicing them. Well, more of them soon. I service them now, but not as frequent as you guys are spoiled here, honestly. Manila guys are spoiled because they have too many choices.
Norbs. Okay, so okay.
Is it
One last.
One last harp.
Yeah, go.
One last harp.
Harp,
Go.
harp.
This is not a question. It's like a suggestion. Like,
Yes.
does it help for us, like, collect, like if where we buy our comic book, we could share it on Facebook or something. Those small things would help or not?
Yeah, yung mga social media na, no?
Yeah, like this guy, like he's asking, he's from Cebu, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I buy my comics in Comic Con or
Yeah,
something.
all that stuff helps bring.
Does it help?
Actually, social media, I'll tell you one thing that Norby really helped me with.
Mhm.
He's the one that kept bugging me to open a Facebook account.
Right.
And the Facebook account, if you actually look at the history, Norby is the one that opened both our Facebook accounts. Because I'm putting Norby. Norby, I'm sobrang kulit si Norby before, right, Norby?
Norby's blushing, oh.
You gotta open a Facebook account. This is like 5 years ago or something. It's like, you can open a Facebook account. And before, I don't know what a group is. I don't know what a thing is. I don't want any more work. Sabi ko, Norby, I don't want. And he kept bugging me. You know what? Sabi ni Norby, I'll open it for you. I'll open it for you. Then I'll make it happen. I said, sige na nga, I'll do it. But honestly, that's probably one of the biggest blessings I received is from Norby.
Norby's the
So-
blessing.
Social media, as soon as Norby opened an account and I saw what it was doing, I said, oh my God. Because before I used to do weekly mailers, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I still do.
yeah, you do.
But now, if I need to advertise something, straight to Facebook.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it just spreads. One
Yeah.
guy does it, he shares it, like when we have events like Free Comic Book Day, there'll be like 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares. It just spread.
Yeah.
So I don't need to email individual 1,000 people.
Right.
So yeah, Harvey, kung somebody's, I see people do that anyway. They'll say, oh, I picked up my books. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sandy, for my books or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you pick up from. You advertise it. Rural does that too. Rural, I'm broke. I'm gonna eat ramen for a week, but look at all the comics I got. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, whoever, Sheila. Thank you, Reality, and whoever you think. But that all helps because it gets people interested. Na-interest sila sa comics. Especially the movies actually help.
Yeah, the movies help.
And they're good movies. That's the thing. And Hollywood's always going to. There's so much material that it's finally time they're doing it now. Finally.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for our Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.